You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing another top 5 list for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links as suggested to me in a previous video. You can also suggest Duel Links topics for discussion in the comments down below because I really enjoy making these types of videos. In this one, we'll revisit the best 5 ritual decks in the history of the game. Ritual decks in general haven't been the best through Duel Links' existence because majority of these decks by nature need a lot of consistency help by box ultra rares like Senju and Sonic World, which in the end doesn't even make the deck competitive enough. Of course there are exceptions to this trend and we'll see them right away. So let's begin with a list. Number 5. Cerulean Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. The Nephthys archetype might have never been on the top of the meta, but paired up with a Yubel engine, the strategy could be successful and annoy many opponents, that is for sure. Sacred Phoenix was an effect monster that came out in the Dawn of Destiny minibox and started the legacy of the archetype in the meta. Later, it was paired up with Yubel with her evolutions and the skill My Name is Yubel, to introduce the destructive cycle of Incarnate and Phoenix together on the field, to every turn wipe out your opponent's full monster and back row boards respectively. Then, in Absolute Inferno, a main box, after the release of the 5Ds world of course, the ritual aspect of the deck came to play. The deck ran both the Phoenix monsters, Yubel along with Incarnate and Nightmare, as well as classics with a Nephthys archetype like Fire King Avatar Yaksa, Fire King Island and Disciple of Nephthys. The deck dominated with pretty much the same cycle combo, but this time Cerulean Phoenix could also take part with Incarnate and also be ritual summoned by tributing any of the Yubel monsters. Unfortunately for the deck, as the meta kept evolving by becoming faster or finding ways to counter this cycle, the deck became more inconsistent and found it really tough to compete. On the bright side, Yubel is still getting used for farming, but Nephthys is waiting for his opportunity to return. Number 4. Magician of Chaos. The most recent arrival on the list is Magician of Chaos. It became available with a Master of Chaos EX structure deck. Funnily enough, the EX deck also introduced a great Dark Magician oriented fusion monster, Dark Cavalry, that is still heavily used to this day. Magician of Chaos is actually also still being used today, but the ritual deck is simply not as good as the Dark Magician Fusion / Synchro variant. Magician of Chaos did not have an amazing performance straight off the EX deck when it arrived. The deck was suffering from consistency issues and had low comeback potential, but then Magical Circle arrived. It made Dark Magician top tier immediately and Magician of Chaos simply better. By being able to adapt the name Dark Magician on the field, our ritually summoned wizard could use the majority of the beloved Magician's toolbox and dominate duels. The fact that it can be ritual summoned by 2 ritual spells, Chaos Form and Advanced Ritual Art, gave the deck some benefits for sure. Magician of Chaos has a great effect that allows you to destroy a card on the field as an answer to a spell or trap effect activating. In addition to that, it can allow you to special summon a Chaos or Blackluster Soldier ritual monster from your deck, but that skill was never relevant, just a fun extra bonus effect, I guess. Of course paired up with Dark Magician, Circle, Navigation, Dark Magic Attack and the rest of the Dark Magician tools, the deck can still perform in the current ladder, not by any means top tier though. Number 3. Relinquished. Back to the beginning of Duel Links, almost. Or to be exact, when the first gate event came around and Maximilian Pegasus became unlockable. Legend rank or Platinum over 3 wasn't even a thing back then. Relinquished is one of the most iconic Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters in general, I would say, and one of my favorites. From his intimidating look in the anime to his unique effect of absorbing an opponent's monster along with its attack and defense stats, while at the same time using the monster as a shield for protecting himself and also mimicking any damage dealt to him, since the monster still technically is the opponents. All that make the card so intriguing. Relinquished was really powerful when a simpler meta was present. Had a great feud with Harpy Ladies, and also, who can forget about the main Relinquished killer back then, Possessed Dark Soul. Of course, the deck started to become weaker and weaker as time went on, and Duel Links started to get more complete archetype decks and complete strategies in general. But whoever was playing back then will never forget the reign Relinquished had. Number 2. Vendread. Now we start to go into the more meta ritual decks with the inclusion of the zombie deck Vendread. The deck came out in the Curse of Dread mini-box last summer and instantly started finding success. With 2 ritual spells in the name of Vendread Evolution and Origin, the deck had so many different options. Vendread monsters like true zombies were able to be summoned from the graveyard and also use zombie monsters as tributes from all over the place. The ritual monsters had the ability to banish opponent cards with quick effects and also grant strong follow-up plays when destroyed because of their floating effects, mainly coming from their ultra-rare card Vendread Slayer. That allowed them to have more consistency than other ritual decks in which Vendread Knights also played a role. As more and more decks started appearing that had graveyard plays and more consistency, the player base started shifting to those, but Vendread can still have some success on ranked paired up with one of the best current decks, Siranui. And in the number 1 spot, of course, we have Cyber Angels. That was probably expected, I guess. The deck that also graced my top 5 decks list ever for the game could not be in any other spot in this list. Cyber Angels, like Relinquished, were available through farming, specifically after the GX World was released by being part of Alexis Rhodes' Gate and Level Up rewards. Dakini was easy to summon and also search for with Cyber Petite Angel or the classic Idaten Benten combo or even Senju and Sonic Bird. Dominated way more than any other deck here and was actually considered tier 0 by some players. Topped KC Cups, tournaments, and of course got tons of King of Game titles for people. The only deck on the list that actually did not go away because of the release of new, faster and stronger decks, but because it was limited again and again to the point that it was almost not playable anymore if you wanted to win. First, Dakini and Machine Angel Ritual, then also Cyber Petite Angel. Little by little, the deck started becoming inconsistent and Konami had to intervene for that to happen. Totally a deck that annoyed a lot of people, but also the first clearly top tier ritual deck and the best, as this list of course implies. After the numerous nerfs, the deck has seen new support arrive or new helpers in the name of Venus and also Saphira, and then more Cyber Angel support of course like Izana and Merciful Machine Angel that helped the deck considerably, but not to the point where it came back to the meta. Now Cyber Petite Angel is off the ban list and the deck still hasn't seen its past glory even with 3 Idaten available, something that in my opinion won't happen without Dakini and Machine Angel Ritual out of the ban list or some new support of course, although currently in the game the deck is the best it has ever been after all the nerfs. And that's my list. Don't forget, the list is based on how the decks did in the respective eras and not against each other or currently in the game. Do you agree or think I forgot something? Tell me in the comments down below, where you can also suggest more video topics. Thank you so much for watching, leave a like and subscribe for more Duel Links content, stay safe and I'll see you in the next one.